Hello dear students, my name is Dr. Vishali Ghai and the name of this channel is Tricks by Chemistry Guru. And today in the series of quick revision class 9th, I'm going to teach you about structure of atom. Quick revision, so be ready with copy pen register and we'll start with this chapter, that is structure of atom. So in this chapter we'll talk about how an atom be further divided into various subatomic particles, electrons, protons and neutrons, who discovered them, and then we'll talk about various models given by various scientists from time to time to explain the structure of atom. So be ready with that and write. First is, as we have studied in previous class, that John Dalton, we know in 1808 Dalton has given a theory, Dalton's atomic theory. So John Dalton says that atom is the smallest particle. Atom is the smallest particle and it is indivisible too. Indivisible means further it cannot be divided for any matter. Now we'll talk about Sir J.J. Thomson, who proved that atom is not the smallest particle. That means Dalton said that atom is the smallest and indivisible, but Sir J.J. Thomson in his experiments, he said that atom is not the smallest particle. Atom is not the smallest particle. That means it can be further divided. And to which particles it can be divided? We know that it consists of subatomic particles, and these subatomic particles we call them as electrons, protons and neutrons. So an atom is not the smallest particle. Sir J.J. Thomson has proved it, and he said that it consists of various subatomic particles. Out of these, the constituent particles are electron, proton and neutrons. So in 1897, Sir J.J. Thomson said that cathode rays are emitted from cathode. He did an experiment, discharge tube experiment, and he observed that cathode rays are emitted from cathode and they carry from cathode and they carry negative charge. They carry negative charge. It means these negative charge particles or rays, he called them as electrons. So he said that electrons are those constituent particles of cathode rays. They are the constituent particles of cathode rays. So this is what Sir J.J. Thomson has discovered in his experiment. I will not teach you what was that experiment, that I have already told you in the chapter structure of atom. The series I have uploaded earlier. Since this is quick revision, so I will tell you what and how it happened. So cathode rays, they were emitted from cathode and they carry negative charge. So electrons, what are electrons? Electrons are those constituent particles of cathode rays. Now, the charge on electron can be calculated as, later the charge of electron has been calculated as 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. And this was known as 1 unit charge. 1 unit negative charge. As electron, we know that electron carry negative charge. So this is 1 unit negative charge. Okay. Now the mass of electron. You should learn these values. Mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. And if we compare it with the mass of one hydrogen atom, so this is 1 by 1840 times of mass of hydrogen atom. So all these things you should know. So I'm giving you a very quick and short revision so that you just recall all those things that you have studied. So just take a screenshot and then we'll move further. Right. So this is about electron. So once the electron has been calculated, has been discovered, we say that an electron is the subatomic particle which carry 1 unit positive charge. So after the discovery of electron, Goldstein discovered another set of rays in 1886, set of rays having positive charge. And they were named as anode rays as the direction was from anode to cathode. Okay, also known as positive rays and sometimes canal rays, because they were allowed to pass through the canals of cathode or proliferated cathode. That means they pass through small sieves of cathode. Call these particles as proton. क्या है protons? Protons are subatomic particles which carry positive charge. They carry positive charge and mass nearly equal to hydrogen atom. Nearly equal to mass of hydrogen atom. So that is about proton. So proton carry positive charge and its mass is nearly equal to hydrogen atom. Okay, so this way Goldstein has discovered proton and J.J. Thomson found that negative charge particles are electrons. So how these electrons and protons are arranged, that has been given by J.J. Thomson in his Thomson's model. We call it as plum pudding model also. So what is this plum pudding model all about? This is very, very important, bachcho, for your examination point of view. So it says that this Thomson's model or plum pudding model, it says that an atom is positively charged sphere in which electrons are embedded. Electrons are embedded. So we say that an atom is positive charge. Why it is positive charge? Due to presence of protons in which electrons, that means negative charge particles, are embedded so as to neutralize it. So this electron neutralizes proton so as to neutralize positive charge. So atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Atom is electrically neutral. Okay. So we say that Thomson has given a model also known as plum pudding model. So he says that atom is a positive charge sphere in which we can say this is an atom which consists of positive charged particles in it. This is a sphere of positive charge in which electrons, this is completely a sphere of positive charge in which electrons are embedded into it. So we have a complete sphere of positive charge, just like we can compare it with watermelon. The red pulp resembles positive charge that is all over scattered, and the seeds of watermelon resembles like electron. So it is a positive charge. All over we have positive charge. So it is positive charge sphere in which electrons are embedded. And he says that it is electrically neutral. It means equal number of electrons and equal number of protons are present in an atom. So this Thomson very well explains the neutrality of an atom. This Thomson explains the neutrality of an atom very well. Done? So isko note kar lijiye, and then we'll move to the next structure of atom given by Rutherford. Take the screenshot. Now we'll talk about Rutherford's scattering experiment. So now we'll start with Rutherford's scattering experiment. What he did in 1911, Rutherford actually did experiment on scattering of alpha particles. Scattering of alpha particles that gives the discovery of nucleus. That means the experiment though was that he bombarded alpha particles on a very thin foil of gold, and this scattering of alpha particle led the discovery of nucleus. Now based on this scattering experiment, he has given one atomic model of an atom. He has explained how atom has been arranged, how atom consists of particles, subatomic particles. So he has explained this atomic model of atom. And according to this model, he says that an atom consists of a small, heavy, positively charged nucleus. So this is how he discovered nucleus, and he called nucleus as small, heavy, positively charged. Where it is located? In the center of atom. It is located in the center of atom. Okay. And electrons kahan present hai? So electrons revolve around it in circular orbits as given by Rutherford. Just like the planets revolve around the sun, he said that electrons revolve around the nucleus in this circular orbits. So these electrons, he called them as planetary electrons. In comparison with the planets that revolve around the sun, similarly electrons revolve around the nucleus in circular orbits. But whatever be the model he has given, there is a drawback for this model. That means drawback for the Rutherford's model. What are the drawbacks? The drawback is once the electron is revolving around the nucleus, it will lose energy continuously. And once it loses energy, its orbit becomes smaller and smaller. Suppose I consider that this is an electron and it is continuously revolving around the nucleus. So once it is revolving, it loses its energy. Once it loses its energy, it follows a shorter path. After losing energy, it follows a shorter path. So finally what will happen? Its orbit becomes smaller and smaller, and ultimately this electron will fall into the nucleus. That means now electron fall into the nucleus means atom is unstable. So this model does not explain the stability of an atom. So what is the drawback? You can write the revolving electron, because I am writing all these things because you will be having such questions directly and you are supposed to write it in a direct way. The revolving electron will lose energy continuously. Okay, what will happen? So its orbit becomes shorter or smaller, and finally electron will fall into the nucleus. So once the electron will fall into the nucleus, atom would not be stable. So atom will not be stable and we cannot explain the stability of an atom. So this is how we can talk about the drawback. The drawbacks of Rutherford: the revolving electron will lose energy continuously, so its orbit becomes small, and finally electron will fall into the nucleus. Atom will not be stable. So if I ask you what is the drawback, so major drawback is it does not explain the stability of an atom. So take the screenshot and then we'll talk about Bohr's theory. So what is Bohr's theory? Let us talk about the Bohr's model or theory. He has modified certain points of this Rutherford experiment. He put forward a theory in 1913 and he proposed that an atom consists of heavy positively charged body that has been given by Rutherford, consists of heavy positively charged body, what he called in a nucleus, called nucleus. Where it is located? In the center. That we have discussed in Rutherford also. Then what he modified further? He said that the electrons revolve in fixed stationary orbits. Electrons revolve in fixed stationary orbits which are having fixed energies. Energy is also fixed. These orbits are called stationary orbits. These are called stationary orbits. So he called these orbits as stationary orbits. Clear? So that was actually overall Bohr model, who has explained that electrons now have fixed orbits. Okay, so it's not like that the electron can revolve anywhere. They have fixed orbit and those electrons can revolve only in those fixed orbits. And he called them as first shell, named as K shell, then electron in the second shell, a little bit apart from nucleus, L shell, then M shell, and so on. So he says that these are the fixed orbits, and different orbits, he named them as K shell, L shell, M shell. We'll talk about Bohr-Bury scheme also. Now, in 1932, ये सब हो गया, बोर ने मॉडल दे दिया. 1932, James Chadwick, he discovered neutron. Neutron was a particle which is neutral. Protons positive charge, discovered by Goldstein. Electrons negative charge in Thomson's experiment. James Chadwick discovered neutron in 1932, and these neutrons are neutral particles. So how do we define neutron? Neutron is a fundamental particle, or I can say subatomic particle, which is neutral. Neutral means having no charge. Like electrons positive, negative charge, protons positive charge, neutrons are neutral. So it is neutral in terms of charge, but it has mass nearly equal to, mass of neutron is nearly equal to that of proton. Okay. So I can say that a neutron is a subatomic particle which has mass nearly equal to that of proton but has no charge. So nucleus contains both the things. Nucleus, if I talk about nucleus, इसमें दो चीजें आ गई. क्या क्या आया? Protons and neutrons. So nucleus contains protons and neutrons. So these two now are collectively known as nucleons. What we call nucleons. हम इन्हें nucleons कहते हैं. Whereas electrons are present outside this nucleus in various orbits. So this is how a model of an atom came into existence after the discovery of this neutron. So now in terms of mass also it has been balanced after the discovery of neutron. So take the screenshot, and now we'll discuss about certain points like what is atomic number, mass number, and different shells, their electronic configuration. Okay, so few definitions. Right, first is atomic number, and we represent atomic number as Z symbol. It is equal to number of protons. What is atomic number? It is equal to number of protons or equal to number of electrons. Atomic number is equal to number of protons or number of electrons. Number of electrons किस case में? For neutral atom. That means if it does not have any charge. अगर charge हो गया, ion बन गया, तो electron कम ज़्यादा हो सकते हैं, because in that case it either loses or gain electron. If it is neutral atom, then the proton and electron are equal, and that we call as atomic number. Clear? Now what is mass number? So mass number is represented by the symbol A, and it is equal to sum of protons and neutrons. So if I would like to find the number of neutrons, क्या होगा? A minus P or Z, P is Z. So A minus Z will be having the number of neutrons. So number of proton plus number of neutron is mass number. तो इसको जल्दी से आप नोट कर लीजिए, and then we'll move further. Okay? So done. Now we'll talk about Bohr-Bury scheme. Basically, this Bohr-Bury scheme, we say number of times, it is only the arrangement or the distribution of electrons. Distribution of electrons. How electrons have been arranged in various shells. That we also call it as electronic configuration. The arrangement of electrons in various shells. Okay. So what is this rule? What is this scheme all about? We say that the maximum number of electrons in n shell is 2n square. So if n is 1, so maximum number of electron will be 2 into 1 square is 2. If n is 2, it would be 2 into 2 square, that means 8. If n is equals to 3, it would be 18. If n would be 4, it is 32, and so on. Clear? So first thing is maximum number of electron in any shell is 2n square. So what is n here? N may be any number 1, 2, 3, 4. Outermost shell cannot have more than 8 electrons even if the first rule is not valid. अगर फर्स्ट रूल बाई चांस कहीं मिस भी हो रहा है तो भी लास्ट शेल में 8 से ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स नहीं होंगे. ओके. थर्ड वन इज द पेनल्टीमेट शेल. पेनल्टीमेट मीन्स सेकेंड लास्ट, बाहर से दूसरी. द penultimate shell cannot have more than 18 electrons. 18 से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकते. ठीक है. So these are certain ways to arrange the electrons. How to arrange the electrons? First is maximum number of electrons in n shell is 2n square. Second is outermost shell cannot have more than 8 electrons even if first rule is not obeying, is not valid. The penultimate shell cannot have more than 18 electrons. यानी अंदर वाली शेल में भी 18 से ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स नहीं होने चाहिए. Okay? So we'll move further, and how to arrange the electrons I'll tell you. If suppose I'm talking about any atom with atomic number, say hydrogen, atomic number is 1. How to arrange? I'll write shells K, L, M, N. So hydrogen has 1 atomic number, it will come with 1. If I go for helium, it has 2 atomic number, means 2 protons, so 2 will come here. This is first shell using 2n square. By putting n is equals to 1, we get 2 into 1 square is equals to 2. So now maximum 2 electrons can accommodate. And next we have is lithium. Lithium I have 3 electrons. So it goes to, will go in K shell as it is now completely filled, and L I'll be having 1. So total 3 electrons will arrange in these shells this way. Now if I put n is equals to 2, so it goes 2 into 2 square, that comes out to be 8. That means L में हमारे पास 8 electrons तक आ सकते हैं. So if I take atomic number 10, neon, so I can have 2, 8. Now L is also completely filled. If I move to sodium, that is 11, it goes to then 8 in L shell and now 1 in M shell. So it will go this way. Clear? So this is how the arrangement of electron takes place. If I talk about argon, 18, so I'll be having 288. M can have 18 electrons, but there is an exception to potassium and calcium with 19 and 20 atomic number where the electrons can go this way. That will study in higher classes. If you would like to go for it, आप 11th class का इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का कंसेप्ट देख लीजिएगा. दैट आई हैव अपलोडेड ऑलरेडी. आप देखें हाउ टू राइट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. तो उसमें आपको मैंने बताया हुआ है व्हाई डू वी हैव दिस exception. So that is beyond 9th level. So these two are exceptions as per Borbori scheme. We'll discuss how we'll have and overcome this thing. So ये आपको समझ में आ जाएगा when you go through the electronic configuration for class level. So just note down, and if you have any problem you can write in comment section. Now next point we have is formation of ions. How to form ions? We know that any atom lose or gain electron it forms. By losing it forms cation, by gaining electron it forms anion. Clear? So I can write by the loss of electron we get cation, and by the gain of electron we get anion. So this is how any ion has been formed. Now in any neutral atom, for any neutral atom means when it is not ion, when it is not charged. For neutral atom, number of protons is equal to number of electrons. They are always equal in the neutral atom. Okay. In cation, that means positive charge. Electrons कम हो गए, loss हो गया. So in cation, electrons are less. In anion, electrons are more. So this is how we get the different ions. So just note down and we'll move further. After this, we have few more topics like isotopes. What are isotopes? They belong to same element. पहली चीज, they have same atomic number. That means two different elements with same atomic number, but they have different mass number. We call them as isotopes. That means इनके जो protons हैं वो same है. They have same protons. They have same electrons, but they have different number of neutrons. Different neutrons. Okay. For example, if I talk about hydrogen, hydrogen has 1H1, 1H2, 1H3. If I talk about these three atoms or isotopes, I can say they belong to same element, hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Atomic number is also same, 1, 1, 1. They have different mass number. It has 1, it has 2, it has 3. They have the same protons, same electrons, but different neutrons. Neutrons कैसे निकालेंगे? 1 minus 1 0. 2 minus 1 1, 3 minus 1 2. So they have different neutrons. ये हमारे neutrons हैं, ये हमारे protons और electrons हैं if it is neutral atom, और ये हमारा mass number है A. किसी भी atom को represent करना है, suppose this is the symbol, then this Z is atomic number, A is mass number, and here will be having number of neutrons. So I can write A is equals to Z plus N. So for isotopes, we'll be having different neutrons. A is also different, Z is same. Clear? Now we'll talk about isobars. Isobars. यहाँ same element था, यहाँ different element है. They belongs to different element. That means अलग अलग elements है, जिनका atomic number different है, but they have same mass number. They have same mass number. So mass number यहाँ पे same है. ठीक है. So इनमें प्रोटॉन, इलेक्ट्रॉन, न्यूट्रॉन तीनों ही डिफरेंट होते हैं. They have different proton, different electron, and different neutron. Clear? Next we'll talk about radioisotopes. These are isotopes of certain elements. कुछ ऐसे एलिमेंट्स के आइसोटोप्स जो अनस्टेबल हो. अनस्टेबल क्यों हो? Because they emit radiations. Radioisotope emit radiation having unstable nuclei, and they emit radiations. किस फॉर्म में निकल सकती है? अल्फा रेडिएशंस हो सकती हैं, बीटा हो सकती हैं, गामा रेडिएशंस हो सकती हैं. तो दे कैन एमिट रेडिएशंस. So this is all about your chapter. In case if you have any problem, you can ask me in the comment section. And secondly, this all about is the quick revision for chemistry. So as per your request, I'll upload some topics of physics also. And if you want some other topics of any chapter in science, please request me in the comment section. So please like and share this video and subscribe the channel. Thank you. God bless you and all the best for your exams.